morning. Welcome again. Here we are. Good morning and welcome to DBS this morning. My name is Maureen. We've got back in the Bacchanal is where we went, but you know what? Whilst we are in the Bacchanal, we are balancing it off. And when we get into the features, you'll find out why and how. But first, let's tap into the news desk. What's going on, Kendall? Thank you, Kendall. We take a break. We come right back. And now in our second feature, we caught up with Reddy, one of the few ladies, again, into the finals of the Calypso competition, which is going to be held this Saturday. And we caught up with Reddy. It was nice chatting with her. It is the carnival season. This Saturday we'll be marking the finals of the Calypso competition. And we're here with Nahoma Jean-Baptiste. Her Calypso name or sobriquet is Reddy. She's one of the few females who has qualified over into the finals. And we are just, happy to catch up with Reddy as she gets set for the final. It's not a strange place to you. You've been in the finals before and you're quite a force. Whenever you're in the finals, a lot of people start to shiver. How are you?
I'm fine. Very relaxed this year. Very relaxed.
Well, of course, experience. You're in the thing now a while. You're just...
Yes, 10 years.
It's quite a while. And you're pretty young. So you've been in this from a tender age.
Yes, I have been in it from 18 years. Yes, 18 years ago. So yes,
Right.
I'm 28. Oh gosh.
Right. For the people who don't know, this is not new to you in many ways because this is this part of your lineage. You understand? Your daddy has been writing for some of the most powerful persons within the arena, the Ashantis, the Minells, for quite some time. So you almost didn't have a choice.
Yeah. Well.
I'm just joking.
Well, yes, I did have a choice, Lucia. But like I mentioned a million times, when you have a love for something, it comes out naturally. So that's just me embracing the talent that my father has and putting out a good product every year.
For persons who may not know, you're the daughter of Happy.
Yes, I am.
Prolific writer, very
Yes,
prolific
I am.
writer.
Yes.
What is it like? Do you feel pressured? What is it like being the daughter? Do you feel like it's got a lot to carry?
Yes.
A lot is riding on this?
Yes. The pressure is on, especially this year when we have two really good songs, two strong rounds. The pressure is definitely on for me to execute the way he wants me to execute, as well as bringing myself in it, putting myself into it. So there's a lot of pressure, but he's not too hard on me. That's the good thing about
What is it like? Now, we're gonna bring that to our viewing audience. What is it like working along with your dad? Because that's part of the dynamic team. The chemistry is there. He writes, you go on out, you deliver, you perform. What is it like? A creative session with the both of you. Take us into that.
Well, it's most of the time it's very relaxed because we practice at home all the time. If I'm not playing it, I'm singing it with him on the guitar. But before I always perform, he comes backstage, give me my little pointers, make sure I do this, make sure I do that. So it's a really good dynamic, really strong dynamic. I'm really comfortable working with my father.
Wonderful. Does it ever get a little...
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
And how do you guys handle it? Because it might be a little tricky because this is dad. You grew up in this household and this has always been like the authoritative figure and now you have the child and now formulating yourselves into this professional zone. You might have certain ideas. You might have little things that you might want to go a certain way. Dad has his own way. Does it ever get to that point where you rub heads a little bit? And when you do get there, what are some of the principles that you've put in place to ensure that it does not become a major problem?
Well, for him, it should be easier because, he's my father. So I try my best to always listen to him and make him proud. Not straying from the fact that I also have to be myself, perform in my own way, perform in a comfortable way. So I wouldn't say that we really butt heads, but then I always take his advice and try my best to act out my lines, as he has mentioned before, try not to control my breathing, control my higher notes. That's the advice that he would give me if he wants me to do something for a certain line, I would have to try to tweak it and do it in a way that's comfortable to me. But it's not a case where we will butt heads. It's more of me receiving the information and trying my best to put it out there, do exactly what he wants me to do.
Okay, you've gained confidence in what he's been doing because he's had this.
Man, yes, yes. I trust him completely. My job is just to go perform, sing my song. Everything that happens behind me is daddy. It has worked for him for many years, so everything that happens behind me, I trust him 1,000% with it.
Wonderful. Let's now switch closely, really quickly over to you are now in. Well, it's not now. It's been that way. It's male dominated. So you're one of the few women who are now in a male dominated industry. What is it like?
Well, I wouldn't say I have any bad blood or there's any animosity towards me in the arena. Well, I haven't been around it, although it may be there. I haven't really, given it too much energy or, taking it too seriously because some people change when it's competition time.
Yes.
So all I really do is to just be myself. As I mentioned many times before, study myself, focus on how to do better than my previous performance. And still remain humble, still check everybody the same way, still show respect to those that deserve respect, you understand? So
Awesome.
it's a lot, but then it's been 10 years now and it's kind of getting a little easier as the years are accumulating.
Wonderful. Now, finally, Reddy, you have not yet, you have gotten into the finals before, but you have not yet brought a title home. What would be bringing a title home mean to you and Dad and your family?
It would mean everything. It's not just my individual household, but then it's the entire area of La Panse because, I mean, in the times of Ashanti, there used to be so much pride when he would come home with that crown on his head and that big trophy. So it would mean a lot, not just for my family, but for the entire area, for me to bring the monarch home on Saturday, God willing.
Wonderful. What do you want to say to all of you in public going into Carnival?
I'm always grateful. I'm always humble. Thank you so much for all the support. Even when I don't feel 1,000% confident, when I hear the applause before I come on the stage, it gives me that boost. So I really appreciate all the support, St. Lucia. Thank you so much.
And like I mentioned, we are in the Bacchanal season, but balance is key. And that tagline goes with Heineken's new drive that they've just unveiled. Who would have thought? Let's tap into this bit of information. We're here with Louise Victor, and of course, you're seeing the Heineken sign. She is the corporate affairs manager at Heineken. Louise Victor Frederick, let me make sure I get it right before Omari dig horrors on me there. I'm not living your out, bro. Louise, we've got to talk about something groundbreaking that has been initiated by Heineken. Yes. Quite a contrast. No, probably would not have thought of Heineken in that field and in that light. You know, propelling something of that nature. But here we are. And it's beautiful. So I'm gonna say hi and I'm gonna allow you to introduce that campaign, that new campaign that Heineken is now tapping into.
Yes. Thanks, Maureen, and thank you for being present at the first ever Drink and Live Responsibly Carnival Knowledge Forum. As you rightfully said, Peter, which is one of our flagship brands, is known to be the heartbeat of St. Lucia Carnival. But overall, as a company, as Heineken St. Lucia Limited, we have been stepping up our advocacy on responsible consumption. And responsible consumption in the sense of not only, beverages, but in terms of how you live. Hence, drink and live responsibly, because living responsibly looks like a lot of different things in the everyday. And so that's why living responsibly is so important in the context of, your safety, your physical presence of mind, so many different things, managing your screen time. But also as a total beverage company, we not only have alcohol, we also have, sweetened beverages. Yes. And so it was our way of just having a really bold conversation about things that we tend to skirt around. And so that was our way of addressing it head on with the key stakeholders, everyone who was in the room, from the carnival bands to CPMC to the community carnivals, there is a relevance in terms of addressing something that we tend to just just walk past by, and we say drink and drive, but how is that translating? And so we were truly proud to have brought it forth. There were a bit of concerns that, hey, we're an alcoholic company. There's normally a lot of hype and excitement and a lot of entertainment around that. But we thought it was very important to, just draw back a little and have that very conscious conversation, really.
At a time like now as well. Now, like you said, it's quite a contrast because when we hear alcohol, we think that the companies are really looking numbers, and at a time where carnival, this is where the numbers is going to skyrocket, so that should augur well for you. So why now come in the middle of all of that and tell people, all right, drink responsibly, live responsibly, check how much you're drinking? To me, it'll be like more they drink, well, better for we. So tell me about the birthing and why the things that Heineken thought it was necessary as a company in that regard, to propel this drive.
Well, overall, we have what we call our Brew a Better World strategy, and it has three pillars. It is environmental, so we do a lot of work, as you would have seen in the past 3 years. Replas, for example. We also work with the National Trust in preserving the mangrove in Viewfort. There is also the social side of things, which is really working more directly with communities, but there is responsible consumption. So that it is a key pillar of all of what we do. And so there's responsibility and there's sustainability. And it's a matter of, not telling people, hey, don't drink, because that is not the message. The message is to find balance. Because the truth is, being drunk is not cool.
Yes.
And not knowing what's happening in your surroundings it's not what we want. We want our consumers to be able to feel safe whenever they consume. We want for alcohol to not be the cause of certain things, certain misfortunes happening to them, and so it's
Especially not your brand.
exactly. And so this is where it's coming from. We're not saying don't drink your Peter, don't drink your Guinness, don't drink your Desperados. We're saying that we recognize that while you're doing that, we simply want you to be able to get home safely to your family. We want you to be able to live a longer and healthier life. In our jingle, it says moderation and enjoyment, they go together, and it's not just consuming beverages. It's in everything in life. You can't be eating too much ice cream every day and just expecting that
You're gonna keep
you
that figure.
exactly, or you'll just be super healthy. And in the same vein, you can't just be going so extreme, say with your workouts, that you forget the balance of socializing and having a drink, even if it's a Heineken Zero. And so it's a message of finding balance in everything that you do. But of course, as a total beverage company, for us it starts with our beverages in terms of that we owe that responsibility
Right.
and that responsible conversation with our consumers, starting at home,
Right.
and then it expands to your wider.
You have decided to unveil this right into the carnival season. There's a couple of things that you have decided to do
Yes.
as part of that. I heard a mention of zero zones in certain areas. Explain.
Okay, so the idea is that at the zero zones, typically you go to events, and if there's, there would be water, there would be things that could help you sober up, but it is our very deliberate way of giving patrons, giving customers and consumers access. So at some of the key events leading up to the parade of the bands, we will be activating zero zones. So in there you will find water, you will find Heineken Zero, and you will find Coke No Sugar.
Right.
All of those are brands that we carry. Crystal Clear is the official water of Carnival. We'll also be partnering with Massey Distribution to also offer soup. Again, at some of the locations, depending on the nature of the event, because it does help sober you up. So some of those events, when you're exiting, we will be there. For some of the events, if you just want to just rest and relax, there'll be a little lounge area, so you can rest, you can refresh, you can sober up. And then bringing it home to the actual parade, we will have 2 points for the zero zone. The first one would be in the Napa car park. So that would be the first one, so as revelers are heading down, they have that moment before getting to the stage to kind of just sober up. Again, the same products will be in there. And then when we are heading back home, back to Massey Mega, then we will be placed somewhere between Foster's and Massey Mega, so that we can also remind you at that point, hey, if you're a bit too intoxicated, here is some water, here is some alcohol-free beverage. Please get home safely, and we want you to be able to enjoy Carnival 2024. But we also want you to, on that night, to be able to get home safely and wake up the following day and said, yes, I had a good Carnival, and you have those memories vivid enough because, hey, you were not too intoxicated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant drive, and commendation to you and your team on this one as well. Well, of course, it's your moment right now to speak to our viewers and drive the message home.
St. Lucians, Carnival lovers, mass man, parents, vendors. So for vendors, it's a matter of serving responsibly, but to every other person who would be partaking in Carnival, if you are a spectator as well, Carnival is for all of us, and we want to encourage you, each and every one of you, no matter what you do and whether Carnival is your thing or not, in the everyday, just remember to drink and live responsibly.
Good morning, DBS family, and welcome to another episode of DBS's Lookbook. I am Vanessa Henry Long, your certified image consultant, personal stylist, and makeup artist from Lovely Makeup Artistry and Image Consultancy. Yes, we are in one of the best months that you could think of. We are in July, and as we kickstart this summer, I would like to introduce you to some fabulous finds or some great tips that you can consider to be your best self or your most fabulous self this summer. So one of the things that I think it's important that you recognize is how you are going to show up and show out this summer. One of the things that you should consider is having a personal style that is authentic to you, one that represents your best self but also is in tune with your body, your lifestyle, and you will hear me saying that a lot on the lookbook. So you need to forget about those dull colors. You need to wear some colors this summer as you go out, whether it be to the beach, to any season event, because there are quite a few events, especially now as we are in the carnival season. A number of events would have some themes associated with it or not, and this is the time to showcase your personal style. This is the time to wear some colors, to infuse what I say the perfect colors for summer. So let me help you find those amazing colors to wear. One, wear or dress in a monochromatic way. Now that is basically choosing various shades in the same color line. So for example, if you were to wear pinks, you would wear all different shades of pinks, all different hues of pinks, but yet still wearing it in a way that is fashionable and is appropriate to match or in harmony with your skin tone. So for example, if you have, like me, a warm skin tone or a warm undertone, you can wear colors like pinks, for example, the magenta pink, and that is a warm pink. If you were to have a cool undertone on the other end, you would wear what I would call a baby pink or a light pink. Now, all the different hues or colors within that pink range, you can infuse it and match it to make it stand out. And what better way to do that but in a monochromatic way? Now, I just use one color as an example that you can use, but of course, you can use all various colors, whichever one you choose. For example, it's orange and greens and reds and even yellows. So again, stick to the color palettes that go very well with your undertone. As we are going into summer, of course, you want to pull out those shorts, not too short, but at least comfortable clothing, those shorts, those mini skirts for the ladies, and of course, some comfortable slacks for the guys. You may be going to various events, whether it be a beach event, a staple event for this carnival season, but you want to dress to impress. Remember, as you are picking your outfits, ensure that you are dressing for the occasion. Not because it is summer, that means you need to have your arms out all the time or your short shorts all the time. Choose the right occasion and the right outfits to wear for those various occasions. So that is very important as you look to go out this summer. One of the other things that you need to make a conscious effort for is your accessories. Ladies, you should never go out without that staple bag, or what I would call your summer bag. Now in your summer bag, you need to have some finds like your SPF creams or sunblocks, because we know the heat will be coming out this summer. And of course, for the gents, it's not just limited to the ladies, but the guys, you are also welcome to have your little summer man purse where you can carry, of course, that SPF or that sunblock to protect you, those creams to protect you from the UV rays of the sun. That is very important. Of course, the ladies, in your bag, you need to have those popping lip colors, and you also need to have some amazing fragrances, which I would say these are the light ones, those that are very fruity, the floral, those that are good enough for the summer. We don't want anything overpowering this summer, but something that is lightweight, that would keep that good vibe, that good air for the summer going. And of course, I will show some amazing ones, or what I would say, some top picks or fragrances that you need to have for the summer months. So yes, this is a great way to kickstart the summer, wearing bright popping colors or colors that are more on the neutral side, sticking to, of course, dressing for the occasion. That's important. So no matter where the event is, if it's indoor or outdoor, it's important to see where the event will be at, and you have to dress for the occasion. So if it's a beach lime, of course, it's appropriate to have your slippers, have your slacks, have that bikini or that monokini, or for the guys, have your shorts, yes, and your vest, or maybe that six-pack on. But another thing, and last but by no means least, to consider, as I said earlier, is to ensure that you have that bag, that summer bag that has all of your great finds. So you have your SPF, you have your moisturizers, that's important, your fragrances, a little bit of, you know, skincare routine stuff in there to keep you popping and keep you going for the summer. You can even put in some vitamins too in there, because again, as you go through all of your various events, you would need to stay hydrated and stay pumping for this summer. I hope you did enjoy those simple tips as I get to kickstart your summer off the right foot. Stay tuned to the next episode of the Lookbook.
And another morning come to an end. We wrap up right now. Hope you'll join us again tomorrow right here on DBS This Morning.